Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hunky Homemaker. Thank you for joining me here on my channel. I am your host Michael and I am the Hunky Homemaker. Here on the Hunky Homemaker channel, obviously we deal with a lot of homemaker issues and fun from home. So subscribe to my channel, join for great tips from home, recipes and fun and love from home. So today, we are just now getting those first little signs of spring here in town, so it's time to start the garden. Of course, as a good homemaker, you definitely want to be gardening, doing your own gardening. So if you've never done that before, it's a great time to learn. And if you have, then you can get a few tips from me, give me some tips, let's talk about it. I love gardening, and so that's what we're doing today. So, if you're starting from seeds at home, which is what we're talking about today, starting your garden from seed at home. So it's still a little too cold to put seeds in the ground outside. And so we're going to be starting in, in our little sunroom at home. So we're here today, and we're going to be showing you how to begin your seeds at home. So first you need one of these little crates. You can get this at your garden center. Lots of different garden centers, nurseries will have these. So you can get some that are twice as big, some that are half as big. It just depends on how many you need. And you'll see there's lots of different spots for seeds. So this is what you're gonna need, okay? And the good thing about these, they have all the little pockets, like I said. They're also going to have your bottom piece, which is going to catch all the water, any soil, debris. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the bottom piece. This is actually the top, which becomes your greenhouse. So once you have all of your soil and all of your seeds prepared, put your holes back into the bottom piece. Like I said, that's going to catch your drainage. This is going to go on top, and that's going to be create your greenhouse, which is going to help your seeds in the beginning because they need that warmth and that moisture. So, like I said, these are great because they come with everything you need. It's all ready to go. So, all we're going to do, we're going to start with just the seed packs, just the the little pots, as we're going to call them. Now, obviously you need some soil, so we've got that. Just got this little bucket here of soil. And these are just gonna be loosely filled, okay? So, just do a little, and you're just gonna spread this around. So this is pretty easy. Gardening can be very easy, it's actually there's a lot of effort in the beginning, but that's really it. After you've got your stuff going, there's not a lot of effort. You check on it once a day, and then the payoff is really, really worth it. So we had a very successful garden last year, and so we're wanting to duplicate that again this year. And so we're doing a lot of the same things. We're starting a lot of our stuff from seeds. I'm going to be transferring all this into the garden once it is time. But I figured I would show y'all step by step, so we'll have numerous videos as the garden comes together. So just spread around your soil, get it into all these little cavities, all the little pots. Now, of course, this is going to be messy. Just clean up your mess afterwards. That's just part of gardening. And me, as you know, here on the Hunky Homemaker, I don't try to do too hardcore. I don't try to do too perfect, I just want to enjoy it, especially with gardening. It's sort of, a lot of it is done outside, and you just focus on being outside, focus on enjoying it. Just like with all other homemaking activities, rather than with it being perfect, my YouTube channel isn't perfect, but to me, that's what makes it great. So, just focus on the end result, but also focus on enjoying it. Don't get too caught up in the details. Okay, so filled up a lot of our spots here. Fill in the rest of your little holes, all the little pots. Right. So now we've got 72 that quickly. These do not take a lot of soil. They're really only to establish your plant. And once they are, you know, 3 inches tall, all that stuff is going to be transported into the garden, transferred over into the garden. So this is really just enough to get them settled, to get them going. But we had a lot of luck with this technique last year, so I figured I would start this way and let y'all in on it. Okay, so it's the beginning step. Remove our soil. Now, we've got that. Next thing we're going to do is do the seeds. And so we have 12 rows, and that's sort of how I do mine. It's just one vegetable or one product per row. So we're going to do that. Let me see here. First, we've got Thai chilies. Now, these are seeds that I got out of the garden last year. They're a hot chili, and they were really pretty. So I, you know, after harvesting them, as you're cooking with them, just set your seeds to the side, put them in a little dish, let them dry, and then put them in a Ziploc bag. Like these I harvested in October of last year. And so now the seeds are perfectly ready to go. So anytime, or even if you like get a jalapeno at the grocery store, or a, you know, a serrano or any chilies, you know, you always have to discard the seeds when you're cooking with them anyway. So save your seeds, let them dry, and then, you know, start the next year, the next following spring, and plant them. You know, why not? So Thai chilies is what we're doing first. And you can see here, I've got like a handful of the seeds. So we are going to gently place those and just put them, you want to do like 3 or 4 per pot here, right on top of your soil. Simple as that. Once we've got all the seeds that we want, we're going to gently press them down into the soil. And then that is really it. They don't need to go really far down. Maybe like to the first segment of your finger, you know, maybe an inch, maybe 1.5 inches or so. Not exactly, like I said, this page is not about being exact. It's just about enjoying homemaking. But like I said, I had good results with this last year. So just give a little press so that and then as you press in, kind of push the soil back on top of your seeds. Same here, all right? So I've got 6 pots in this row, and I probably have like 40 seeds throughout. We're not gonna need all of those plants, but you want to plant more seeds than the amount of plants you want. So some of them aren't gonna come up, some of them aren't gonna produce, and so give yourself way more seeds than you need. And as they start to grow, you'll thin them out and throw out the smaller ones, and we'll cover that in a later video. But be sure and give yourself more seeds than you think you're gonna want, because not all of them are gonna make it. A little bit more soil, and I just give a little bit more on top. All right, so simple as that. Just press it in with your finger, not too far down, you know, just enough to get it barely covered by your soil. All right. Now, one thing that I did last year was label all of my different seeds so that when they start coming up, I'll know which is which. So I just took a little Post-it notes and cut them up into strips, and then stuck them onto a toothpick. You know, these are things you have at the house. Post-it notes, toothpicks. So as you can see, this is a Thai chili. So I'm going to put my label here. And like I said, when those start coming up, I'll remember what they are. You know, in 2 weeks, I'm going to be like, well, which one's lettuce? Which one's a bell pepper? Which one's a jalapeno? I don't know. So that's just a quick little solution to remember what you have. So that was it for the Thai chilies. Now, I have more seeds left over. And what I'm going to do is toss those into the garden in a couple weeks just to see how those do compared to the ones I started at home. But that's it, okay? Next, we're going to move on to the spinach. I'll just show you 2, and then I'll fill out the rest of them, you know, off camera. Yeah, I don't want to drag this on forever, but just to give you all a general idea of how to do it, okay? So next we have spinach. Now, this is just a regular pack of seeds that I bought from the store, from the nursery, from the garden center, and it's spinach. And there again, we're going to do about 4 seeds per pot. And like I said, there's 6 pots in a row. So, you know, I need like 25, maybe 30 of the seeds. And there again, like I said, you just get this from the store. These were $2.79. I think they were actually on sale. So this was actually like $1.50. And spinach grows really well here. We did really good with it last year. So definitely want to try that. So, gotta open your seeds. Easy as that. And I just pour them right into my hand, makes it easier to work with. Now, spinach seeds are definitely big enough to see what you're doing, to know how many you're spreading. But some of these other vegetables have very tiny seeds, but just, you know, blend those in as well. And then once they start popping up, you can throw some out, toss some out, because you're not gonna need all of them. So we're gonna skip a row just for visual sake at the moment. And then I'm just putting my spinach right on top of the soil, as you see. All right, about 4 or 5 per pot. Now, I'm gonna give these a little press. Go back by and top them back off with soil, just like we did on the last one. And then that's all you do. This is getting your seeds started. It's not that difficult, especially when you start from seeds, because there's very little soil involved, you know. It's not that much labor intensive. Press it down. Press it down. Right, just like so. And then move your soil back over the top. Some of this soil that fell out, I'm gonna use to top off with. Right? Okay. That takes care of the spinach. And like I said, these are like maybe a 1/4 inch covered with soil, not a lot at all. And remember to give yourself more seeds than you need. And that is it. So again, we've got our label for the spinach, the toothpick with the Post-it note, right? That in there, and as those start popping up, they'll be easily identified as your spinach. Now, I'm gonna fill the rest of these in with the rest of my seeds. I'll come back and show you all the finished look in a moment. Hey y'all, all right, I'm back. I've gotten all of the seeds ready except for the last row. I'm gonna show you one more row just as an example, and then we're gonna finish it off, and so you can see the final product. So our last one we're gonna do is the arugula. And there again, we just got this at the store, you know. These are really inexpensive and you get so much out of them. And I'm gonna show you another trick here, because you'll find that a lot of seed packets have way more than you need if you have a small garden like I do. So here I have a ton of the arugula seeds, way more than these 6 pots are gonna need. But I still have twice that amount here in my arugula packet. So I'm gonna show you what to do with that here in a moment. Just gonna sit that down. So again, you're gonna do 5 or 6 seeds into each pot, just like we did before. Drop those in. All right, and you can see I've labeled all my other ones. They are ready to go, easily identified. Got my arugula in there. Now, just real quick, take your remaining seed packet and just fold it over, right? Get a little bit of your Scotch tape and just tape that closed so you don't lose any more of the seeds. Now, after the harvest of these arugula, you know, like in the end of May or June, once all these arugula have grown, we've harvested them, we've picked them, they're all done. Now you have the rest of your seeds to start over, you know. So with these seed packets, they're like $2.50, $3 a piece, but this is way more than I need. So I'm just gonna save the rest for the summer planting. So that's all I would do. Give it a quick little piece of Scotch tape, hold it in place, and those will be ready in the summer when you're ready to plant again. So again, with your seeds, just give it a little press, get it down in the soil, move it around to cover it, just like so. All right. Yeah. Put its little flag in there, notify that that is arugula. Great. Now, we're gonna take a little bit more soil and just loosely spread this around all of the pots, just to give everybody a little touch on top. Doesn't need to be much, just kind of a loose sprinkling all across. Okay. You don't want your seeds to be too far into the soil. They'll have too much trouble coming up and they will not succeed. But we do want to have enough to keep them in place and to give them the nutrients that they need. So just a light scattering over top, okay? That's all you need. Now, going back to the pieces that this setup came with. So this is the bottom tray to hold all of your water. Just set that right inside. Now be careful, these will tear apart if you're not careful. So just gently scoop everybody right into place. All right, there you have it. Now, we're gonna give it just the lightest amount of water, just enough to start activating everybody, not a lot. Just gonna go over it real easy. Okay, just like so. Just a little. Now, the one thing about these Post-it notes is you do have to be careful about watering your Post-it notes. But once everything pops up, you'll know what everything is after a few weeks. This is just for the initial beginning of your planting to remember who's who. Or you can take them out and lay them next to it when you're watering, you know, just to remember who's who. All right, now that we've got that done, like I said, just a little water to start it off with. You don't want to drown them at first. We're going to come back in 2 days and water them again. And then from then, it's going to be just every 2 days, 2 to 3 days. And even then, during those waterings, you're not going to want to go heavy, just a light watering to keep them moist. You can heavy water once they're in the garden. But when they're in these little pots, they don't need too much. Just remember that. Now, take your greenhouse top that it comes with. Put that right on top, and there we are. We're all labeled and we're ready to go. I'll just let y'all know what all we do have, just so you know. So as we talked about at the beginning, we've got the Thai chili. We've got, I put in kale in between that. We've got spinach planted. There is some romaine. We've got bell pepper. We also did, that's cilantro. I've got a jalapeno. I've got dill. That's another green leaf lettuce. I've got two rows of celosia. I did decide to plant some flowers this year, so I'm doing the celosia. And then we've got the arugula that we just put in. So again, just put your lid on top. So when it comes to this, it's all about what you want and what you want to eat, obviously, and what you like and what your family's going to like, and what grows in your zone. So just do a little bit of research and then a little bit of effort, and that's it. And it's an inexpensive hobby, but a very rewarding too. So there you have it. This is the beginning of our spring seedlings. You know? So I'll update y'all when it's time to weed them out, to thin them out, so that you can see how to do that. And then I will do another video when it's time to put them into the garden. But this is how you start, y'all. So there you go. That's how, there you have it. So I hope that was informative. I hope that was helpful. Let me know like what y'all are planning to grow this year. What are your favorites? Do y'all normally start from seed at home, or do you just go right in the garden? Of course, it depends on where you live. You know, are you going to try something different this year? You know, let me know what y'all are planting, what you're thinking about, and what you think of these tips. And that's it. So y'all get out there. Start planting, start gardening. You know, it's springtime, enjoy it. So that's all I have to say about that. Now, I will say real quick, I do represent Lambda. So if anybody was wondering, I am a member of the Tri-Lambs. If there are any other members of the Tri-Lambs out there, let me know. Shout out, Lambda. So, but other than that, y'all enjoy. Just want to send more love from home. And more home tricks. So keep watching, keep tuning in for more gardening recipes, home life, home love, and tips from the Hunky Homemaker. Thanks a lot, y'all.